Welcome to Heart of the Matter Radio with author and host Cynthia L. Simmons. How does a godly woman live in a world out of sync? Cynthia digs into the issues women face in our complex culture to set a path through the chaos. It's for women seeking the elegance of God's wisdom. So prepare yourself to listen, learn, and rest. Now here's your host, Cynthia L. Simmons.
With the internet and with social media so prominent in our lives, it is difficult to find ways to influence our children. And that is so important because their future matters. But I have help for you. Author and coach Linda Goldfarb has some really fun ideas to help you get your kids engaged and away from all that stuff that could be dangerous. So welcome, Linda. How are you doing?
Hey, Cynthia, how are you? I am doing well today. I love days that I can say I'm doing well, and this
wonderful?
happens to be one of them. So you've caught me at a great time, and I can't wait to just pour into your audience.
I love it. So give me something about spring that can capture our kids and keep them busy.
Oh, absolutely. And here's something that I'd really like us to consider with what I'm sharing today. I really want our listeners to involve family. This is not just, a date type of thing or an individual, but let's think family as we go in. And this really works well if you're grandparents as well. And how can we engage our young people, our grandkids, our kids, especially in different seasons? And make sure when we're going through what I'm sharing, be very, very careful not to, or to limit like snarky tones. Have fun, but let's always remember that we are going to choose to do no harm with our words or with our actions. So that's kind of the ground rules there. All right. So as we go into the spring, I encourage all of us to incorporate what I call spring sensory sensations. Now, this means that we're going to consider taste, touch, hearing, smell, and sight. One of the first things that I think is so fun if we use this activity is the mystery touch box. Now, the mystery touch box means that there's things in the box and the child is blindfolded and they have to reach in the box and kind of move their hands around. You can cut a hole in the top of the box. They reach into the box and they grab something and they have to explain what they're feeling. I feel something fuzzy, or I feel something gooey, or I feel, and in their talking about how they feel, we can talk as parents or grandparents about the importance of feelings, what we share. It's important what we're touching right now, but it's important to also share the feelings that we are experiencing. So this is really a lot of fun. They describe what it is, then you reveal it and they go, oh, I didn't know that's what it was. It really felt more like this. And it allows us to tap a little deeper, especially if we're having a child who kind of holds back on their feelings and their feelings are hidden. Do you see how that correlates there? That would work wonderfully.
Do you put more than one thing in the box or just one?
Oh, you can. Yes, that's what makes it so fun, because you can put multiple items in the box and have them describe what it is, what they're feeling again. So that's what we ask them. What are you feeling? And they'll describe it, and then you write it down. And then when you do the reveal, then they go, I had no idea, or I got it. Yes, you did so well in explaining your feelings. And we can allow that to be a trigger to go into deeper conversation if it's needed. So that's a great thing to do.
So do you reveal everything all at once?
Not necessarily. It really depends on the amount of time that we can spend together. Maybe this is something that we do over the course of a week. We come together, we have the mystery touch box, We go in and there's something that's in there. They grab one thing, they describe what that one thing is. Then we can reveal that and then come back the next day. Do it over the course of time. We've talked about personalities in previous episodes together, Cynthia. So you're going to know, you're going to have some of your kids are going to say, I want to do them all. I want to do them all. And you're going to have some that say, oh, I just want to do a little bit, or, okay, this was kind of fun. Go with their design.
Okay.
Let them lead in what the amount of time that you're going to spend together there.
I like that. Okay. Now you've got blind taste competition.
Ooh, the word competition, that can cause some of us to get a little bit nervous. But if we turn it around and instead of focusing on the competition, we focus on the importance of teamwork, how we can work together as a team. So the blind taste competition, we have another box and it can have the back open. And this is fun to do with liquids because you can have straws coming up through the top of the box and have different liquids that are in there, and have your young person tell you what the liquid is. And you can help by giving little clues. That's part of the teamwork. So we help by giving I don't know, it's kind of like, you might drink this with, and give them a hint there. You can also do it where they are blindfolded and you put a new taste in front of them, something that's different. This really helps them also to try and not reject things. This can be with a picky eater where they see something and they go, ooh, I'm not going to like that. Well, guess what? Sometimes if they don't see it, they'll taste it. And when they taste it, then they're going to enjoy it. And so that's a great thing to do as well. And the competition part is maybe if we have multiple kids, you can see how quickly they can taste, or they can describe what it is that they're tasting. And it can be, oh, well, Johnny got this under, 2 minutes or something, to go through the whole taste testing competition. But then working together as a team and encouraging our siblings to help each other and to ask each other questions. Well, does it taste thick or does it taste thin? What does it taste like? And that way we help each other and talk about the importance of teamwork.
Right. And part of that is language too.
It is. Being able to describe, being able to slow down our speech, being able to communicate well, because we don't often communicate what it is that we're thinking. This helps with that in a great way. It does.
Mm-hmm. Talk about your noses. This is about, did you smell that?
Did you smell that? Well, this is a great way for us to use the sensory of smell. And again, choose to be kind. Choose that with the fragrance that we are introducing to a young person is something that makes them sit up and go, oh, I like this. I like this. So what are some smells that you can introduce and put them in a jar, little tiny jars? I don't know if you've ever seen with essential oils, they have little tester jars. They're real tiny, and you could put droppers of different items into the tester jar and ask them to smell it and see what they think that it is as well. And there are some things too that you can walk around in the garden, walk around outside, have this be more of an engaging activity where you're walking outside and maybe it's right before the rain and you go, smell, breathe in deep. Do you smell that? What is that smell? It's rain. Rain is coming. We can help then with that generational impact of knowing what we know and being able to transfer that to our children, Do you smell this? No. Now, sometimes it can even be if something isn't right. You walk into a place and it smells musty. Do you smell that? What is that? And the nose crinkles up. That's a musty smell. It means that there's not been enough air in this area. So we need to, dust out the pillows. We need to open the windows. We need to do this. As we go, we can incorporate these activities.
I like that. Okay. My favorite food meals.
Talk about taste buds. These are so good. When we look at our favorite food meals, what we're wanting to do is set up with our young people what they like, why they like it, and how we can prepare it together. I've even found that with our young people, depending on age appropriate, right? Everything we do is age appropriate, but we can start taking them shopping, going to the grocery store. Oh, this is my favorite food. Do you know how it was made? No. Let's take a trip and you go to the grocery store. You can show them what these are ingredients. Here is a list of the ingredients. Let's find them together. You can show them how to be directed in the aisles in a grocery store. So many things that we can start teaching and sharing with our young people. And this is a beautiful opportunity of going out, being together, and sharing that way. I think it's a lot of fun.
And then you talked about planning a sightseeing trip.
Yes, we must value the eyes of our young people. And when we call it a sightseeing trip, it's not necessarily going on location, but it's asking what they see, asking or showing them something close up. I love taking photographs and getting really close to an item. I take a lot of pictures of flowers, and I love when I can really go in and get that micro lens really close to a flower, and all of a sudden it comes to life. I can have a sightseeing trip in the house. We can pull up photos on the screen of a computer. Now, we know that our young people, they can get, really absorbed in a lot of screen time. But if we start doing stuff with them where they currently are, we are now making that generational kind of connection where I know about this as well. This is a familiar place for me, but this is what I look at. And so we can take them on a sightseeing trip. We can visit other countries in the computer. We value the sense of eyes, and for them to go, oh, I see that. One of my favorite ones is having those books that's like, Where's Waldo? Or what's hidden here? For us to be able to isolate our sight and to be able to focus a little bit more. This helps our young people with the ability of focusing as well.
Okay. And then you've got one, it's what if I couldn't hear?
Yes. What if I couldn't hear? What if I couldn't see? What if I couldn't use my legs? What if I couldn't? When we talk about this with our young people, it really builds empathy in them for others that have different needs. Everyone has a need. We all need to eat. We all need to take in water. We need our sleep. But sometimes we have different needs. And to be able to introduce that to our young person and ask them, what if I couldn't? Or what if you couldn't? And for me, I would start it with, I wonder what I would do if I couldn't walk. And I would say, I have a friend of mine, actually a cousin, who was born without the use of her legs in the lower part of her body. Do you know, when I first saw her, she moved around the house on a skid board. She was laying on the board and she used her arms and went all around the house. I wondered what it would be like if I couldn't walk. And I think of my cousin and I go, you know what? She just learned to do something different. She was still able to move around and be involved with all of us. She just did it in a different way. And then you can ask the child, what is something that you would think about if you couldn't what? And then let the conversation go from there.
I like that. Okay, now we're going to get into summer soon. So let's talk about some fun things you can do over the summer. So you're talking about videos of each child?
Oh, I call these the summer sizzle reels. Summer sizzle reels. Yes. And here's the first one. Create 3-minute videos of each child and do this every summer. Create the videos when you're on site at the beach. Maybe you go to a theme park. Maybe you're in a backyard pool. Maybe they're running through the sprinkler. Something that sets off the sensation of summer. It's hot. This is what we're doing. And just take a 3-minute video of the child and think about this over the course of years to be able to put that together and have that be an amazing little video series that you can gift to the child or gift to the grandchild. It could be videos of the two of you together, but what we're looking at is how they are growing, what they are learning, what they are involved in, what they like to do. And then ask them during the video age-appropriate questions. We can say, tell me your favorite story. And for a few minutes, just let them tell you their story. You can ask, what is your favorite food? What is your favorite color? What is your favorite book? What is your favorite thing to do during the summer? Asking them questions gets them involved. We hear their voice. They'll be able to hear their voice on a playback. And it's so wonderful. And then impacting generations, they can have that video and they're able then to show their children, their children's children, and so on.
I love it. That's a great idea. Okay, now for fall, you have picture puzzles.
Oh, girl, picture puzzles are amazing. And they're very reasonable now. So the fall picture puzzles, there you can go to Shutterfly and you can get like a 10 by 14 picture puzzle, and they're only like $17. That you have Puzzles Print. You can go to them. Amazon has custom jigsaw puzzles as well. And here's what I encourage, because it's a fall, use fall foliage. Maybe go to a pumpkin patch. And again, do this every year. Create something, and you can have it where it's a family, or you can have it where it's a photo of a child, and you create that puzzle. And here's what I love doing with puzzles. I love sitting with my grandchildren with puzzles, and we're putting something together. If it is a photo of the child and we're putting it together, we can talk about how God created all of us. And he created us in his image. He created us to be exactly who we are, and focus on the smile and the eyes and the activity. It could be if you celebrate Halloween, if you celebrate Fall Family Festival, whatever it is that you love doing in the fall. Maybe it's throwing leaves in the air, and you take a photo and capture the leaves coming down and the look of excitement on the face of the young person. Maybe it's a fall gathering where it's the whole family. I always encourage, Cynthia, that we take photos every time we get together. Every time we get together. We are not promised tomorrow, right? But if we can take photos and then turn those into puzzles, I can think of a lot of things. Is there something puzzling you today?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that we can put together? How about we sit and concentrate and see what fits next? So many things that we can do, and it involves our hands, it involves our time. And I think that these are beautiful opportunities.
I love it, especially a puzzle of the child, a picture of the child, and then they put together their own puzzle of them.
That's right.
Right. Absolutely great. Okay, now for winter, you have warm winter fuzzies.
I do. My children love it. every Christmas, they get fuzzy socks. I mean, you know how difficult it is to find fuzzy socks that fit size 15 feet. I will tell you, they are out there. You just have to look for them. But shop or make fuzzy socks or fuzzy crafts or family sweaters where everyone has the same sweater. Maybe you have family PJs and everyone takes a photo in the PJs. Every year, this builds that anticipation in our young people of, oh, I know that when we get together during the winter time, when we get together over Christmas, this is what we do. And I can't wait. I also say, add a cozy story. Start sharing stories, warm, fuzzy stories, and serve it with hot cocoa. That's always a great way to gather the kids around and say, I would love to share a story, or maybe there's a story that they like read during the winter season. And here's a fun one. Select a repeatable date to gather every year. One of the things that our family has done, because we have grown so large, is we get together 2 weeks prior to Christmas. So we know the weekend, 2 weeks prior to Christmas, is when we come together as a family. And this makes it a generational impacting event. And it makes it something that's fun, that everyone loves to be able to come together. They know this is what we're going to do. It's not a surprise. It's an expected time of joy. And that just gives me warm fuzzies thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I love that. Okay. Then you have birthday bash boxes or balloons.
Yes. You know what? Everyone has a birthday. So how do we celebrate the birthdays? We can go and buy expensive stuff. We can go and buy the next trending thing. But what I have found with our young people is when we show them that we see them, that we know them, that we know what their favorite color is, we know what their favorite animal is, maybe their favorite toy, a favorite book. As they get older, what's their favorite fragrance? What's their favorite food? So when we put together our birthday bash baskets, boxes, or balloons, you know, you can put things in balloons today. What we want to do is think about favorites. What can I include? That means I actually have to have a conversation with my young person to say, what is your favorite color? And do you know, Cynthia, colors change. They change as our young people grow. Their favorite color last year may not be their favorite color this year. And we might think, well, that's what they wear all the time. But if they're young people, they're wearing what their parents have bought them. It's not necessarily their favorite. So that helps us to engage with our young person and to say, what is your favorite this? Then think tastiest treats. For birthdays, tastiest treats, these are the times to have that. It doesn't always mean candy. It doesn't always mean high sugar. It could be something that you make together. And you know what birthday bash box is? It could be a box of cake mix. It could be a box of muffin mix with some, the mini chocolate chips.
Yeah.
I like to have chocolate chip cookies. Then you give them that before it's made. Don't make the cookies. Don't buy the cookies. Bring all of the mixtures together and then do it together.
I like
And then I always like the steadfast. Think underwear, socks, and shoes. We all need them. We're going to need them every time. And it may be that look on the face of, I can't believe you got me underwear. But when you forget to get the underwear, they absolutely know that you didn't give me underwear. So don't be afraid. Let that be something that's just kind of a fun thing. And again, what's their favorite? What's their favorite cartoon character? What's their favorite movie? What's their favorite? We have so many favorites right now that we can supply socks, shoes, underwear that match or that identify with your child, in their area of favorites. And then finally, for the baskets or boxes or balloons, think of their age number. Give them 5 of something. Give them 7 of something, 18 of something. One of the fun somethings that we received growing up was $1 for every birthday. So birthday number 1, $1. Birthday number 2, $2. And you know that you're going to get $1. And what's really neat about this, Cynthia, is if you've never done it before, go to the bank and ask for brand new $1 bills. And then you stash those, and that's what you use for each child, is giving them a crisp $1 bill. You can roll these up and stick them inside balloons. Then you blow up the balloons, and when the balloons pop, the money falls onto the floor. There's great things we can do if we just take a moment, identify the needs of the child, and say, you know what? You are valuable. You are precious. You are worthy. And I love being part of your life.
I love these. Now, you have more than this. You have a real life community where people can receive bi-monthly newsletters. So tell us where we can find you.
Thank you. The Staying Real Community letter is a letter of encouragement that you get via email. If you come to my website, go to lindagoldfarb.com, and you can sign up to receive or to be a part and join my Staying Real community. You receive encouragement once, twice a month, and it's in all different areas. It's in our physical health, our relational health, our spiritual health, how we can just grow in our relationship with God, how we can grow in relationships with others. And what's really fun, if you've not done it yet, I have a online free How God Designed Me, or, How God Designed Me quiz. You could take that and get results back from that as well. So I'd love to have you be a part of my Staying Real community, because I love encouraging, I love equipping, and yeah, it's just a joy to participate in the lives of parents and grandparents, especially during this time, this season. Life is really hectic, Cynthia, and challenges are around every single corner. So when we can be encouraged and equipped every month just to enjoy life more, to enjoy our Father God, to enjoy our families, that's what I'm about. And I love coming alongside your listeners as they are experiencing real life every single day.
And we enjoyed having you and finding out how you are going to encourage us. Thank you so much, Linda. And we'll go check out what you've got to offer.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. It's always a joy to be here with you.
You can find Linda at lindagoldfarb.com, and that is Goldfarb. And I hope you do go visit her site. I am your hostess, Cynthia L. Simmons. I do Heart the Matter once a week to offer God's timeless wisdom and to get right to the very heart of the issue that you might be facing. I have got a brand new children's book that just came out, middle grade fantasy, A Penny Saved. If you go to my website, you can find it, clsimmons.com. And I hope to see you again next week at Heart the Matter Radio, where we offer God's timeless wisdom.
You've been listening to Heart of the Matter Radio with Cynthia L. Simmons. Your comments and questions are always welcome. Contact us at cynthia@clsimmons.com. We'd love to hear from you, whether you're an author, young mom, a mother of teens, a homeschool mother, or an empty nester. Join us next time as Cynthia once again sets a path to grow in wisdom and a closer walk with the Savior, here on Heart of the Matter Radio.